I had a wonderful first day essay that I thought about. So here's the prompt. You are a Rice professor who's counseling students, and a young woman comes into your office and says, look, I'm an electrical engineering major. I've been at this for 3.5 years. I interned last summer at Apple, and they liked me a lot and offered me a job, and there's a wonderful project starting this January. Here's the problem. I still have to take U.S. history, a literature class, a fine arts class, and a PE credit. So what I would like to do is not do those, and you just give me my diploma, my lambskin, and I'll be out of here. And if not, then would you please justify the ways of Rice University to man and woman? And can you do this in the 3-page double space times New Roman 12-point font? Do a week from now as a test grade. Now, I've never given that assignment. Even the cruelty of Mr. Horn has a limit. But it's a wonderful essay, I think. Why does an electrical engineer need U.S. history when an electrician doesn't need U.S. history? Why, for that matter, does everyone need 4 years of college? Surely an electrical engineer and a radio, TV, film major and an English major and an education major don't need all the same number of years. Why don't we have 4 years, then 3 years, then 2 years, and 1 year? And for that matter, high schools used to be preparatory schools for college. Is that what they still are? In which case, half, and let's be conservative and say 1/3 of all high school students are incapable of finishing 4 years. Incapable, not they just don't have the resources. Incapable of finishing a 4-year college degree, at least as it used to be when I was a kid. Shouldn't those kids not be forced, who aren't going to college, who know they're not going to college? Why should they be forced to do research papers and college-like things when they could be doing so many other things? Now, the question, of course, is what is the purpose of education? And you can think about college or high school or primary school, any of those. Why do we educate people? Is it for the market? Are we trying to educate workers? Or are we trying to make citizens? And of course, if we're trying to make citizens, the question is, well, what is a citizen? What is the appropriate and right way to live? It's a huge argument that the culture wars are all about this. But this guy's not a culture warrior, I don't think. He just has this book. And I'll put this in the notes, but this is an excellent book where he thinks we should completely throw out our entire system, U.S. history, out of high school. But by the way, I cannot imagine anyone who's connected to education will not be riled up by this book, but it's really worth a read. But here's the question then. Why do we do the things the way, why do we have these standards? And don't tell me because they're in Austin. I know they're in Austin, but why do we do things the way we do them to justify those ways of doing things? See if you guys can think about that a little bit.